David Benavidez proves it in an all-action fight with David Morrell on a super fight card. Let's talk about how David Benavidez secures his spot well up near the top of my pound-for-pound list. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we're going to talk about the pay-per-view event that took place last night. Had 4 fights on the main card. Jesus Ramos won in a fight against Jason Rosario. You also had Isaac Cruz, who won a fight in a shaky performance. Star of the night, though, David Benavidez and Steve Fulton Jr. for their tremendous performances. Before I get into the details, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, accept my invitation and hit the subscribe button. Share the video. YouTube is out here blocking the kid. So please share the video if you wouldn't mind. Also, great if you could support in the super chat and the super thanks of the videos. It's a little $sign down below. Go ahead and tip your hat down there. But let's get into this because, man, what a great fight card. Really was amped up for this fight card because I have Amazon Prime. Just moved into a new house. Amazon Prime is on my TV. I turn on Amazon Prime and watch the local news all the time. The entire week that I've been doing it, or the last couple days that I've been doing it, every time I turn it on, there I saw David Benavidez versus David Morrell, pay-per-view available. All I had to do was press a button. Very easy on my TV. So I did that last night, watched the whole card. Man, got my money's worth for sure. So, stars of the night, though. David Benavidez was clearly the star of the night. But before I talk about David Benavidez's fight with David Morrell, who, by the way, did not lose anything in my eyes, you had Steve Fulton Jr., who fought Brandon Figueroa, and I thought it was a one-sided fight for Steve Fulton Jr. One-sided fight. He showed an aspect to his game that I did not know he had, which was inside fighting. He beat Brandon Figueroa and he beat him in every way that you could possibly beat him. And Brandon Figueroa, who's the type of guy that likes to wear you down and, start like really piling on before the end of the fight. It was like the 10th round before Brandon Figueroa caught any groove. But anytime he caught a groove on the inside, Steve Fulton Jr. just fought him off with just so much more strength at 126 than he had at 122 when he fought him. Just bumped him off. Clean, crisp shots on the inside, just countering him beautifully, defending beautifully. Excellent use of his hands on the Steve Fulton Jr.'s hands on the inside to pin Brandon Figueroa's glove, tie him up, and keep him from doing any work where Brandon Figueroa wanted to do work. So let me say, I thought that was a 50-50 fight. Steve Fulton Jr. showed that fight was anything but a 50-50 fight, and he just completely dominated that match. Would not mind seeing a third fight, but I don't know. There may not even be a reason for one now with that dominant performance. But obviously the big guy of the night was David Benavidez, who beat David Morrell I thought, in a spirited fight by David Morrell. Personally, I don't think David Morrell, he hasn't lost anything in my sight. He's just as good a fighter as I thought he was. I thought the big difference between David Morrell and David Benavidez in this fight was the experience level of David Benavidez, and David Benavidez having a game plan that he knew that worked, that could sustain through the whole fight, where David Morrell, to me, seemed like he was still fighting off of talent in large part, did not appreciate, or I think maybe he underestimated the defense of David Benavidez, because David Benavidez does what David Benavidez does. But one thing that I'm going to tell you that I noticed about David Benavidez in this fight, his defense is a lot better than I thought it was. When he doesn't want to get hit, he doesn't get hit, even standing in front of you and walking you down. So to me, David Benavidez really showed a lot in this fight. Looking forward to seeing what he does in his next fight, whether or not he's going to go fight the winner of Dmitry Bivol and Arthur Beterbiev, who I do believe are fighting May. Don't get me lying out here, but I believe it may be in April, early April, that they're going to be fighting the fight that Shakur's on the undercard for. But it's the rematch for the undisputed fight for the 175-pound championship. I think David Benavidez can give either one of those guys all they can handle. I would favor David Benavidez over Dmitry Bivol. And man, I don't know. Still, Arthur Beterbiev is just such a monster. Until I see something crack in Arthur Beterbiev, man, I'm not really. It's so hard to pick against him. But David Benavidez, in my mind, man, he really, solidified himself as a legitimate attraction in the sport of boxing. Now, the T-Mobile Arena that the fight was in was full. I don't know if it's sold out or whether or not it was filled because of the comps. But also it was, obviously a really good card with Pitbull Cruz and Brandon Figueroa and Steve Fulton Jr. fight. So it was full. I don't know whether or not it's sold out or not, but to me, that's neither here nor there because of the performance that was put on and the fact that David Benavidez got past David Morrell. Look, man, he's going to get featured in a lot of pay-per-views for the PBC, and David Benavidez is a guy where putting him on pay-per-view was a smart deal because nobody's going to be upset about the value of their dollar. I'm 100% happy with the $79 that I spent for that fight card. Excellent fight card. And they've got more fight cards coming from the PBC. And I'm telling you, if you've not watched if you did not buy this fight on Amazon Prime, if you bought it somewhere else, if you don't have Amazon Prime, definitely check out what they do. Amazon Prime does for their promotions for boxing. They have a channel on Amazon Prime that runs HBO boxing, old HBO boxing 24/7 on their live TV. I certainly hope that they get a deal where they can show 24/7 of old Showtime fights, but they are clearly in the business of doing boxing and put on a tremendous fight card. And it seemed the feel of the promotion, the production of the fight felt very similar to very similar to Showtime, in that they had a lot of the same players that were there. So hopefully now we'll get more of these shows. Well, we know we got another one coming up, and hopefully we get another one with David Benavidez and get another one again with David Morrell and Brandon Figueroa, because Brandon Figueroa shows, hey, man, those guys are going to come to fight. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.